Hi guys, welcome back to our channel.
Hi guys.
Again, come on.
Run.
Wait. Wait. What? I'm already ready. Why did you ready?
Okay, I'm good.
Okay, wait. Okay. Hi guys, welcome back to our channel.
So for today's video guys, we're gonna share to you how we met.
So today, what, 5 years ago? Yeah.
Yes.
5 years ago today is the first time I messaged Jinky. But before I messaged her, my mom, she knew Ronnie because they used to always take the buses and stuff like that. So she suggested me that, are you still looking for a girl? And I said, yeah, I'm still looking for a girl and stuff like that because I'm done with looking here, you know? I'm like, oh, let's look elsewhere and see. And she goes, okay, I'm gonna introduce you to Ronnie. And then Ronnie came upstairs, and then I had the whole place different situated and everything like that. So my computer desk was over to the right of me and all that. So the interview was almost like right here, I felt. And then he came up and asked me a whole bunch of questions, like what are you doing and what you're interested in, all that kind of stuff. And then he introduced me to Jinky after about, it felt like an hour of being drilled and asked questions. Not like mean, just normal questions, you know, like what's your interest and stuff. So, and then he pulled out his cell phone and then showed me a picture of Jinky. And the picture of Jinky was when she was in Philippines. And then he showed me her Facebook pictures when she's in Hong Kong now and all that. And then I'm like, yeah, I'll be interested to do a long distance relationship. You know, be something different instead of physical right on the spot, you know. So then I messaged Jinky that same hour after. So Ronnie was still here and I messaged Jinky, but I didn't realize the time difference till maybe a couple weeks after, really. So I messaged Jinky and I'm like thinking, hey, what's the response? And then he's like, oh yeah, Michael, she's in Hong Kong, so it's different time. It's like almost, I think it's almost the same as Philippines.
Yeah, same in Philippines time.
Yeah, so I think
we're ahead of you, ahead time here.
Yeah, so when I messaged Jinky, it was on the 7th.
Here.
Yeah, in Canada, but it was the 8th in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
So that's why those two numbers are always like, 7 and 8, you know, are symbolical to what we do all the time, you know?
Yeah.
And always everything that happens is usually on a 7th or an 8th. Like big in our life, you know? So, and then today too, again, when, a little off track, but when we went out, we found tons of stuff. So it was symbolical today again, so it was pretty cool.
So, Ronnie guys, Ronnie is one of our relatives here in Canada and we live in the same building, which they live down of our unit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they live on the, we live on the 4th floor and they live on the 2nd floor.
Yeah.
2nd or 3rd?
3rd.
Yeah, 3rd floor down in the back.
Yeah.
So we would always talk like that, and then I would always try and learn stuff about Jinky because I don't know, you know, because she's 12-hour difference, so I wouldn't learn about her until the next day when I wake up. So I'd send her a message, and I'd be like, oh my god. And at that time, I used to work at the Toyota dealership.
Yeah.
So when she was, before she would go to sleep, when after a couple weeks we're talking, she would stay up sometimes and talk to me when she's done her shift.
Yeah, just message, changing the messages, text message.
Yeah, for maybe like 10 minutes or so, maybe 20 minutes, if I was lucky.
Need to rest early because my work done like 11 to 12 or sometimes 1 o'clock.
So then when we're messaging back and forth, yeah, so she only has 20 minutes sometimes to talk to me when I'm at work. So I try and cram in as many things as possible in that 20 minutes I can talk to her. Sometimes it's 10 minutes, even less. So then I started...
Yeah, because every time you send me a message with her, it's long. It's like
Yeah.
a whole paragraph.
Yeah, I would send her a whole novel of
But
messages.
if I answer you back a short sentence,
Yeah, sometimes she would message me back, okay. And I send her literally like a 100-word essay. And she's got to read all that in the time. And she's like, oh my God. So then she would read it. I don't know if it's during the day she would read it. And then she would answer me back the next day of what
yeah,
I
because
wrote
I
her.
was busy and I want to sleep early, you know.
So it was a day after I would receive the message for the day after the message I sent the day before. So it's like
Because
that.
I need to think what I'm gonna answer to you, you know.
Yeah. So it's a day behind every time I would send a message. So I would get sometimes frustrated with her because I'm like, why you not message me back that I just sent to you? I'm forgetting. And her English was like okay at the time.
Until now, it's still okay.
No, it's okay now. She can keep a conversation, but before, oh my
No,
God.
I was nervous that time.
It was like talking to like the pop machine. So it's like I put the quarter, give me back my Coke. So after maybe what, a few months?
Yeah, a few months to get to
Yeah.
know each other, you know.
Yeah, so August, September, October.
No,
No?
I think 2 months only to get to know each other.
Yeah, about 2 months of that back and forth.
Yeah.
And in the 2 months, I started. It wasn't right away. It was after two months, I think. I started writing poems. I don't know why. I just started
Yeah.
writing poems to her.
Sending me home.
And sometimes I would write 2 poems. I would think of them at work, and I would click, and I would write it down. So I'm not shy to say. So I have dyslexia. Okay. So I have a form of dyslexia that I cannot write anything down. I actually have to say it verbally. So that is a learning disorder that I actually have and is registered. Besides my respiratory crap. So I would have to think of what I would have to say, speech to text to her. So that's why when I would say something, she would have a novel and it would literally be like 3-4 minutes of me saying something, but she would get that whole speech of exactly what I had on my mind and say.
At
So it's
least-
not like texting.
Yeah.
So it's speech to text, so she would get it. So all the time at work, I'd be walking around with my phone and saying things to her. And at the time, I didn't have an actual cell phone. I had I had a huge, massive Samsung tablet, which was like,
Yeah, a regular size of a tablet. Right?
no, it was a little bit bigger. It was 4 times bigger than a cell phone.
Oh.
Yeah. So I used
I don't know.
I used that for probably what, 2 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, I used that right up until
Yeah,
the first
2
time I
years.
came to the Philippines. And then I used that when I was in Philippines because I didn't have a cell phone at the time. And I didn't know anything about it going to the Philippines the first time. You have to have a SIM card and all that kind of stuff. And the whole time I was there in the Philippines, my tablet didn't work. So I was tabletless the whole time, the first time I went to the Philippines. So when I started messaging Jinky for about 2 months, I started asking her, oh, do you like me? And, what do you think of yourself doing in the future? And the whole time, all the time, I used to ask Jinky. She used to be, oh, I'm just gonna take care of the kids in Hong Kong. And I used to say to her, yeah, but what are you gonna do after that, like your future? She didn't understand. The translation was like we're off a little bit. So, sorry. I used to always ask her and stuff like that, and then I say, "Oh, I'm getting like I like you," and then she would sometimes not text me for a day when I say it the first time.
Yeah, but I need to think again.
I think it was like 2 days she didn't text me at that time.
I think so. I'm not sure. I forgot.
Yeah, about 2 days. I remember sometimes when I would say like things to her like, "Oh, I like you," and send you a poem. Usually, when I send her a poem,
It takes me time to read and
Yeah.
understand it, you know, and yeah.
and all the poems, I have all the poems that I wrote down saved somewhere in
USB.
yeah, one of the USBs. So I have them somewhere, but it was all poems that I would literally grab from like the ether and just start throwing it right at her. I would just look at something and then boom, I'd write the poem. So, and my grandfather, that I found out from my mom, he used to write his wife, my grandmother, poems. So I got the poem writing stuff from my grandfather. So I forget how many poems I wrote you. I think it was at least 20 something.
That's long.
Yeah, I know. There was about
So
20, 22, I think about 22 or 24 poems I wrote her. And then it stopped when after we got married. But sometimes I still think of it and it'll come to me, but I forget to write it down now because I'm so
But
damn
now
busy.
no more.
No, I still get the poems. I just
No.
forget to write it, like say it, and then write it down. And then sometimes when I was at work, I would say it, I'd get half the poem, write down half the poem, and then the rest of the day, I would get the other rest of the poem and then write it down and then send it to her. So I archived every single one of those when I sent it to her. And then even when I submitted the stuff after, when I came back, I used those poems too to submit as evidence as timing. But to go back to where we were talking about, it builds up, you know? And then, so in September, I said to Jinky, I love her. And then it scared her because of the amount of poems that I was writing and stuff like that to her. I think it was too much. But I actually felt love for another person, like, you know, not like your mom or whatever, dad. But I never experienced that like that. And I'm like, shit, you know what? I'm gonna say it, you know? So then I just messaged her, and I think it was on the 7 or 8.
7.
Yeah, it was, yeah, so because I first started at 7. So then I sent it to her until it was 8 there in the Philippines. Or Hong Kong.
Where am I?
Everywhere. So I messaged her, I love her, and then I didn't get a reply back for
Yeah,
like
I couldn't say
2 days.
I love you too, but because I need to take time, you know, like not easy to get, you
Yeah.
know, like that.
And when I said it, it was also like a poem inside that
Yeah.
I was saying to her.
Yeah.
And some woman drove a car in and had like a little pink heart on there. And then that's when I got that poem, and then I'm like, oh, you know what, perfect, I'm gonna say this and this and this, and then I sent it, I love you. I said, I don't just like you now, I love you, something like that. I forget what it was.
Yeah.
I send it to her, and then she received it, and then like blank 2 days.
Yeah, I answer you like, yeah, I like you. And then after I said to him that I like him, he really fast to post it in Facebook without knowing me. And that time, on that day, I was working, right? And then after my work, this is the crazy thing, it happened. After my work at night, so I check if he have a message to me on that time. And then when I'm scrolling my Facebook, I check my notification. He posted, you know what he posted, guys? That we're, what do you call it?
In relationship?
Yeah, in a relationship with a, what? And I said, oh my god, what you do? What you do, Michael? I messaged him fast. I messaged him that I said, what did you do in a Facebook where you posted that we are in a relationship, but no, we are not yet. And then, because here in Canada,
Yeah, like that's what we do.
Like, what do you call it? Walang ligaw-ligaw, soter? Soter?
Yeah, like I didn't understand the whole Filipino culture like 100%.
Yeah.
Even though almost most of my friends are all like Filipino or like, you know, that kind of side. I didn't like but they're all born basically domestic, like us here in Canada, you know. So they're already used to the way things are here in Canada. But in the Philippines, I didn't understand like real old school courting. You know, like go ask your mom and dad. And all that stuff. I didn't understand that.
Yeah, so I said, you need to ask my parents first, you know, guys. So I want to experience na maligawan, you know.
The courting.
Yeah, the courting. So I asked him if you really like me and if you really love me, I said, you ask my parents' permission first. If you can suitor me, you know, like that kind of stuff.
And then I was scared shitless. And then she almost broke up with me at the same time.
Yeah,
Because-
because you posted really fast in Facebook that we were in a relationship, but on that time we're still getting to know each other.
Yeah, but the amount of people that was messaging her, right? Like all of her family, everybody was messaging her.
Nagulat ako. I
And then-
really was shocked on that time.
And then me, I think I had like 3 people that messaged me. One was Chris, like my friend Chris.
Serious?
Yeah. And then my mom. And then I think one of my coworkers is like, oh, you're in a relationship now. Because they already knew I was talking to her, right? So they're all like, yeah, you guys is probably gonna get, you know, engaged and married and everything is
And
gonna
that was the first month that we getting to know each other yet. Yes.
Yeah, it was going into the second one. But I was already feeling like hard, like core feelings for her. But she was like occupied from her work. So that's like,
Yeah, I know.
so like 20 hours or 18 hours work. And then she would rest
No,
and
I
then
don't know how
sleep.
many hours now. It depends, you know.
Yeah, like I don't know what her day would be sometimes. Like she would wake up in the morning early and start doing whatever she was doing.
I will wake up 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And then I will start my work at 7 a.m. Yeah. So at night, I will finish my work around, let's say, 10 to 11, like that. It depends. It depends how fast I finish my work at night. So after my work, I will take a rest, do a message to you,
yeah.
and then I will take a shower, and then just a few minutes I will talk to you or send you a message, and then that's it. I will sleep.
Yeah.
Same every day.
Yeah, that was like a routine
Routine thing.
for like, yeah, basically every day until like at least till December.
Now, what December? Where?
When did you first go back home?
January.
Yeah, so yeah, that was our routine until January, till she left and went back home. That same routine. But when I messaged her in September, I love her. It wasn't until about October.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So before that, in between of that time, I said because he kept asking if he kept asking me if I love him
Oh yeah, all the time.
all the
Like
time.
every like 2 days,
And
I would
said,
say, "Oh, I love you," and then she
I'm not gonna
wouldn't
answer
message
you.
me back.
Yeah.
What did you say?
Because I said, if you really love me and if you really like, like that, you really like me like that. So I asked you that, you know, you asked permission to my parents first if you can court me.
And I did.
So by the time of that, you did, and you start to court me.
Yeah.
And then, and I said to you, if you can wait like that until October.
No,
then
you didn't. You didn't.
yeah, I told you that
Yeah.
once with her.
Oh yeah, she did do that.
And then, if you can wait until October, then I will answer you. So
So I waited.
yeah,
So
you
can see.
waited.
Don't for a Canadian to wait that long. Like a lot of guys would be like, yeah, see you later.
Yeah.
You know, like
But
a lot.
me, it will take time. You need to take time to think if you're really sure, if you really love, or you really like it, or because thinking many times is nice and good. The outcome, not
Yeah.
just to like if you say on that time or that same day that you love me, and then I will answer you back, and then later on there's a regret to happen like that. I don't like that. You know? By the time of October around, so I answer Michael on 8th. And
yeah,
here,
she messaged me.
Here is October 7.
Yeah, so then when I actually read that message, I was too busy at work. I didn't actually read it until I came home, which was around 5 or 6 o'clock. Then I read it, and then I was like, oh, yes! I was so happy because my tablet died at work. I didn't have a charger, so I had to wait till I came back home. So that's why I didn't get to read the message. Because I was
blushing, sweetheart.
It's okay, I'm blushing. So then when I read it, then I charged the tablet, and immediately I start messaging her, and I'm like, oh my god, thank God.
Finally!
Then I say to her, and she still wouldn't let me post on Facebook. Like, no, have to wait. Because I learned, have to ask
a permission first.
Yeah.
Before you do something.
And then I said, you tell me when. And she says, okay, I'll tell you when. So I didn't actually get to post it like officially until she actually left Hong Kong. When she went back home, because she wanted to have the time for her relatives, cousins, and aunts, uncles, everybody, to actually tell them
that we're in a relationship.
Like we're real in relationship. And then that we're gonna go. I'm gonna go to the Philippines, and then that's when I started like really thinking, okay, so this is like gonna be real and all that. And then I said, like, how am I gonna meet you? And then what at first was she was gonna take like a vacation to go back. Yeah. So the plan was after she said she loved me and all that, and then I started, well, maybe 2-3 weeks after. Yeah. I said to her, first, I was gonna meet her in the Hong Kong and see her in her workplace and all that, but she said no, cannot, because I didn't understand that she didn't have like a place like on her own, that she was living where she was working. That's when I understood what a domestic helper was that worked inside the house.
Yeah, but you can rent also a
flat.
boarding or boarding house. You can rent a boarding house also. I don't want to rent a boarding house after my work because my visa will end.
Yeah.
So you decided to meet me there in the Philippines after my work there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then when she said she was going to do that, I said, okay, but you're going to have to not go back to Hong Kong. But she wanted to go back to work.
Yeah, because my employer, or my employer before, they want me to renew my contract.
Yeah, so that was like a big fight. Like,
it's not how we argue, it's just a big decision.
Yeah, so that was a big decision for me. Because I had to think, okay, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
And then, so we came to the decision that Jinky would go back home, not renew her contract, and I would send money back home to her to keep her afloat, and then save money at the same time, so then we could actually get married in the Philippines the following year.
Yeah.
So that's the way we did it. Then when I booked my flight and I sent it to her, so then she knew, okay, I was serious. I think I booked it like two months before I had to leave.
Yeah, it's early.
Yeah, so I booked it in November.
Yeah, because it's cheaper to book a flight before holidays. I mean, before Christmas, like that.
I wanted to go for Christmas, but the difference was like almost like $900 on the ticket. So I was like, hell no. So then I booked it from here. So I left when she went back home. She was back home a couple weeks before. I think 2 weeks before I got.
2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah, 2 weeks before I got to the Philippines. So I booked the flight. It was a single stop. So from Toronto to Hong Kong,
Oh, yeah.
and then it was a layover in Hong Kong for, I think it was like 2.5 hours, which was crazy for me because I didn't understand anything. And
Yes, your first time.
yeah, I was scared. The first time I ever flew, scared shitless. Didn't understand that language where I was going.
Yeah.
They had,
Cantonese.
yeah, but they had it, like, everything was in English too there, so it wasn't
Yeah.
like I didn't know where I was going. But they have a system there where there's no internet, and I was trying to get the SIM card thing that they gave me on the plane, but it didn't match because it was in a tablet. It's supposed to go to a cell phone.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, oh my god. So I'm trying to struggle to message her to tell her I landed in Hong Kong. She's stressing out because she's like worried.
Of
Because
course.
I haven't messaged her for, was it 12 or 13 hours because I was on the flight.
Because I don't know if you're just joking at me that you're coming, you know.
Yeah. I just told her when I was leaving the airport, make sure you're there when I land because I don't know where to
Yeah, I need to know what clothes or what color you're gonna wear, what you look like.
go. Just look for the big gorilla.
Lagi pa siya, I always joking at him that you look like a gorilla or something, but it's a joke kind of thing.
Yeah, she's tiger.
And I'm a tiger. Yeah, anyway, so you arrived in the Philippines, I think it's morning or afternoon.
It was just started to become, like when I was flying from Hong Kong, it was just starting to get light. And then when I was flying over,
Yeah.
then it was like full day. So I think I landed at like 7:20 in the morning or something like that in Manila.
Oh.
So when I was coming down the land, it was cloud cover everywhere. So I didn't get to see nothing. So when I was coming in, I was like,
Babe, serious, you're blushing.
so I didn't get to see nothing. I didn't get to see any of the Philippines.
Yeah.
Because it was all cloud. And I was like, yo, this is the worst ever, man. I guess, so only time I actually got to see anything when I was coming down, and both times when I flew, like coming and going, I had window seat. I made sure of that. Because I didn't want to not see anything. I was like, if I'm going to be scared going on a plane, I want to see what I'm going to look at, you know? If I'm going to die, I'm going to die, you know what I'm saying? At least I want to see. So when we're coming down on the plane, I looked to the left and I just start seeing like trees and stuff, and I'm like, oh my god, there's ground. So then finally, they do a circle after they come down the through wherever I say tree, but they were actually really high still, but they were still cloud cover, and they did one circle around to come back in to get into landing to go into Manila. So then when we landed, still a little bit foggy, but not too foggy now. And then by the time I got landed and off the plane, I think it was almost an hour again before I actually got to see Jinky. And then, so it was funny because when I came out, there was no problem. I just walked in, give my passport, boom, out the door. So then I wait for my luggage. I think I waited 25 minutes for my luggage to come off. And the airport was different from the first year, the second year I went. So,
It's different airport.
no, same airport. They just overhauled everything.
I mean terminal, what terminal you want?
I don't remember what terminal.
Oh, yeah.
All I know was everything changed from the first year to the second year I went, which was better because the second year actually was better because I actually got to see everything. But that's different. That's another story. So when I got my luggage and I came outside, I didn't know she would have so many people waiting for me.
Not so many people.
I call it so many people because I'm not used to it. I thought it was just going to be me, her, and her mom and dad. That was it. Right? So it was your dad, mom, no princess.
Oh.
Princess was there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Princess was there, yes. One of her uncles was driving the let me get it right, the Toyota Hino, is that right?
The van.
Toyota.
Just say it, van.
The van, Toyota Hino, I think. Or Hano. I didn't know.
And then the twin of our
Yeah, and then Rini.
brother. Yeah.
Rini was there. And that was it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was it. I was out of the airport, and then I met Jinky, and we hugged, and I seen them, and I seen her dad. Everybody's there. Patrick, Rini, her mom, Princess, and her uncle. No, your uncle was still with the truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, your one uncle.
What truck? Van.
The van, the Hino, the Hano.
What you?
That's the one. He was over by the van still waiting.
Yeah, Filipina.
And
but when you came out from the airport,
yeah,
I was like wondering, where is Michael? Where is Michael? Because you told me that you're gonna wear a white shirt and me is this one kind of color. And then when I look at it, that he is coming, and that you're walking, and then oh my God, Mom, that is Michael. Here's Michael. Here. And then it's like I'm blushing, and it's like, oh my God, he was so tall, and then white, and then oh my God, he's so handsome.
she's so. And it was so funny because I didn't actually see her.
Because
they're all the same damn height.
Yeah.
So
That is Filipino.
I know. I really learned like the Filipino culture is like 5 foot, like straight across the line.
Not all.
No, because the tall people, the tall Filipinos, was men, and they were all the men. So I was like, oh, okay, that's Filipino. That's Filipino, and all the Filipinos like 5'1", 5'3", like straight across the board. So it was hard to find her, and it was funny. I didn't actually see her first. I seen her sister.
Yeah.
So I see Princess, because Princess's features are a lot different than an average Filipino. So she was beside her mom and her sister, and then Dad and Patrick was on the side. So I see Princess first, because she was right at the front of the gate, and she see me, and then she's yelling, and I didn't even hear her, because everybody else was talking.
It's not.
So I didn't hear anything. So all I did was I waved to her, and then she pointed this way, and so that I was actually left to the exit. So then I walked into the exit that way.
Yeah, I don't have any idea how tall the 6 foot or 6.2, right? Your height.
Yeah.
So I don't have any idea how tall was the 6.2 feet. So how tall you are, And then when I saw you coming out, I'm like, oh my God, he was so tall.
Yeah, she didn't understand how tall it was.
Smokes.
Everybody coming off the plane was like under me, like under my shoulder.
So when I hug him, I'm in yours, in here.
Yeah, you were here.
Oh yeah, like that's oh my God.
So small.
And then yeah.
This torso, we're almost the same torso, like head to waist. But it's the legs.
Yeah.
It's the legs, because when you go like that, it's like so long, my legs, and it's like midget, this one.
Yeah, I know.
So after we got the luggage and stuff, they were taking it, I said to Jinky, I said, I gotta go to the washroom really bad. Like really, really, really bad. So then she goes, oh, okay, we can go there. So we had to walk down where the parking lot was at the bottom. There was this kind of like white hut with open windows. So I'm like, okay, whatever, I gotta go. And then I'm like, Jinky, there's no toilet paper.
In a gasoline station, that one, right?
No, that wasn't the gasoline station. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a gasoline station and then a like KFC.
Yeah. So all I had was hand sanitizer and wipes. And then Jinky said, okay. And then as we were walking, right, the 2 guys come up to me, because I had the cart, the luggage cart. And then I think it was Dad, and then I think it was Patrick. They took my luggage, and they were walking it towards the car. And then Jinky was with Princess, and I was just talking to Rini. But the 2 guys came right up to me so fast, and Rini turned, and he was walking. He didn't see it. They came right up to me, and they wanted the cart. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, I'll give you the cart. And they're like, oh, we can return it for you. So then I give them, I think it was $5.
$20.
No, I gave them a 5.
Oh, $5.
Yeah, I gave them $5
$5
American.
Yeah.
Right? That was the smallest thing I had. So I give them $5 American. Then she told me she give them 20 pesos or
Yeah. Mautak din sila. They're smart.
The same guys. So they scored money off Jinky,
Since you.
Yeah, and then they really scored off of me. So that's okay.
Because they know that you're a foreigner on that time.
And they knew that I didn't know. If I would have pulled out a 20, I would have given him a 20 because I didn't know.
Yeah.
Right? So, and then Jinky asked me, like, what do you give them guys? Then she told me she gave them a 20, and I said I gave them a 5.
And then they want to ask more money, Michael.
Yeah. They wanted to ask more.
So there was 2 of them guys that they helped Michael, and they want more money.
Then,
so I said, brother, that's it. You know?
Then she said something in ilokana or Tagalog to them.
It's Tagalog.
Because, then they understood to walk away because then Rennie was right there, and then he understood what they did, and then as soon as he turned and looked at them, they just like took off. They were gone. They took the card already back, and they were coming back to get more. So then they took off and walked away. And then I said to Jinky, "Oh my God, I gotta go to the washroom." That's the first time I experienced when a Filipino washroom is outside the airport.
Yeah, there's no.
No, there was a washroom in the airport, but I couldn't take myself to go into the washroom because somebody flooded it, so there was water everywhere.
Oh.
So I couldn't.
didn't know
I had
that.
to go to the washroom so bad and do a number 2. I was gonna like die. So that's why I was also like, all right, here's no money. I'm like, I want to go to the washroom so bad. I don't care. Let me go to the washroom. And then
really help you, right?
yeah, Rennie went back to the truck, the van, and grabbed a toilet paper and give it to me. So, sorry, I was wrong. She has better memory when it comes to like little things like that. I actually had to give Rennie money to go get toilet paper for me. So there was like a little store or something, I don't know where he went, and he went and got like 1 roll of toilet paper for me, and then bring it back. And I'm like, what the hell did you get 1 roll of toilet paper? I'm thinking. I didn't say it to him, because I was like, yo, this is weird, 1 roll of toilet paper? And I think it was like 5 pesos or 10 pesos or something. So then, I didn't have pesos, like, so much. So, all I had was big bills. So, I think it was like 1,000 pesos I gave.
I wasn't sure how much.
Yeah, like, I only had thousands and 500, was it 500s? Yeah. 500 pesos, was it?
I'm not sure, sweetheart.
No, I only had 1,000 pesos. Like 1,000 peso bills.
Yeah.
And I didn't have anything smaller, so we had to break it after. So then I give him the 1,000 pesos, and then he went, and then he bring the change and gave it back to Jinky, because I don't know. I'm just learning their money system, right? And then and I was like, why 1 roll of toilet paper? What the heck is this? So then I use it, thank God. And then so that is done. And then I get back in the car, the van, and then we're going back towards her house. That'll be the end of part 1. So we're gonna do a part 2. There may be 2 or 3 part. I don't know. We'll see where we get to. But yeah, this is just the first. But yeah, so that's the end of part 1. It's gonna be a long video. Sorry. And then the second one.
Yeah, I don't know how many minutes now this one.
But it's crazy. But yeah. So we'll post it in days because it's too much in one time.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So we'll say see you.
Huh?
See you later now.
Yeah. So see you next time, guys.
See you next time, guys.
I hope you like this video.
We're not gonna move, but we're gonna do part 2 now. See you.
See you.
Share,
Thank you
like,
for
and subscribe.
watching.
Click the bell. Ding. Oh, sorry.
Let's see.